Hey everyone, probably as some of you read from my rather depressing, I don't know what kind of post they were last night, I finally came out to my parents. I didn't wake up and say, today is the day I'm gonna come out. Um, it kind of just happened, and I'm glad it did. I'm just gonna start off by saying this is probably gonna be a long video, and you don't have to watch it. Well, obviously, I'm not gonna tell you to watch it or not, but if you do, then alright. So here's what happened. Uh, as usual, I was on Tumblr last night, and I ran across this post, a video post actually, of this guy I follow, Merman. I don't know if you guys follow him or not, but he had posted his coming out video and what just everything, and um, that was kind of like the motivation I needed to tell my parents, because for a long time, like since August probably, I just have this thought in my head that just lingers, like, you need to tell your parents. How are you going to be happy if you don't tell your parents? So after watching that video, it was just me and my mom. My mom was home, she was on the phone, and she got off the phone. I went to the bathroom, I took a good look at myself, and I knew I just had to tell her. So I sat her down. I asked her if we could talk, and of course she like assumed the worst, and she was just, like, I sat down and I was kind of speechless for a bit, but she was just asking me, "Is anything wrong? Are you sick?" And I was like mustering up the courage to tell her what I needed to tell her. So after like a minute, which felt like forever, I just told her, you probably already know what I'm gonna tell you, and it's harder. You could think about saying and like reactions, but for me, the hardest part is to say it. Like, I've accepted myself, like I really have, but to say it to someone else, I don't think I've ever been that vulnerable, especially to my parents, because yeah, I'm pretty close to my parents, but I'm not that close. Like some of my friends and their parents, they're like close, they can talk about anything, but my parents are really old fashioned and whatever. So I just told her, you know, I don't know if this may come as a shock to you, but I'm gay. And what did she do? I know she didn't start crying immediately. She just like looked up, and then she was just like, "Well, how long have you known?" And and honestly, I've known since I could think of it. Like when I was a little boy, I liked another little boy. That might sound wrong, but I did. Like I was in first grade, and I already had like a crush on this guy. I'm not even gonna say his name, but he's kind of cute, anyways, right now. But um, I just knew, and to be honest, I didn't think much of it. I thought I was normal, and what happened there? I thought I was normal, and so I told her, and then after I told her, I realized in fifth grade. Then like she, I guess, started bawling. And obviously, I was crying too. So whatever, we were just crying to each other, and she was just hugging me and telling me, I'm gonna love you no matter what. To be honest with you, I'm like, so what? You're gay. Like, I just want you to be careful, and don't do drugs, and that whole motherly talk and parental talk or whatever. But then she said something that kind of like annoyed me, and it's still kind of annoying me. Like after our like 15-minute discussion, she was just telling me, maybe along the way, if you find out that you're not, then that'll be better, or some shit like that. And I was just like, I wasn't even gonna get into it with her because, like, I can't change, like, big deal, you know? Like, if it's, I was born this way, like, to be honest, I was, and I can't change it. I didn't turn this way. I was, born this way, and I can't do anything about it. So I was just like, okay, I took whatever she was saying, and I was just like, all right. And then she was just like, well, you're gonna have to tell your dad. And I don't think my heart has ever sank that low, or my stomach, like, it just felt like bad. Like, I didn't want to tell my dad yesterday, but I thought about it, and I'm just like, you know what? I already told my mom. I could tell my dad, I don't need my sisters here. I could do it on my own. So I don't even know where he was, but it was like I basically waited an hour and a half until he got home. And right after I told my mom, I texted my best friend, Cristobal. I was just like, I really need someone to talk to. Is it okay if I come over? Because I honestly didn't want to be home anymore. Like, after I told my mom, I just wanted to leave, you know? But whatever. So my dad came home, and obviously I was nervous. Like, he came home, and he was, I don't know what he was looking at. And I was just like, Dad, I need to talk to you. And I was just silent for a bit. And I just told him, um, I kind of just spat it out with him. I didn't really. Okay, so I guess he was about to sit down, and I was just like, I'm gay. And he stood up, and he didn't look at me. He didn't tell me anything. He just stood up, turned around, and like sobbed. And I wasn't expecting any of that reaction. I was just shocked. Like, wow, I said it, and why do I feel like I just inflicted this whole pain on my father? Like, because another thing is, like, it's, I have two sisters and another brother, and my older brother is gay too, so I, like, I know that this is a huge disappointment to my parents, and so he was crying, and I've never seen him cry. Well, at least I've seen him cry when he was drunk, when he's, you know, but to hear him cry soberly, even thinking about it. So he wouldn't look at me, and I told him, if I could change, I would, but I can't, and this is it. And I really just want you to love me, and I want you to accept me because I'm a good person. Like, I was just telling him, like, I know I'm gonna have to give you time, but I hope with that time you learn to accept me because that's all I want. That's all I want is for my parents to fully love me. And, you know, like, when I'm older, I really wish when I get married, I pray with everything I have that my dad's there. Like, my mom, I know she'll be there, but my dad, I just want him to love and support me. And it would just mean the world to me if, like, obviously he's not gonna, like, change like that, like, and be like, oh, come here, my son, but I have hope that with time he could learn to accept me and love me. And I know I keep repeating that, but I just want it to happen with everything that I have inside. I just need it to happen. Like, when I have kids, he's an amazing grandparent, father to my nephews. Like, I want him there when I have my kids, you know? So that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't think I left anything out. Just like after I was like, just there telling him, he didn't look at me. He was just looking down and sobbing, like crying hard. And I had to get out of the house. I wasn't crying. I was like in shock. So I was just like, you know what? I love you, and I'm gonna go to my friend's house to give you time. And I'm not even playing. The second I closed the door to my car, I don't think I've ever cried that hard. And I was like screaming, like actually screaming. Like, I don't know. I was like exhausted. I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I went to my friend's house and I cried and I cried and I told her the whole thing. And she just told me, the moment you dreaded your, your whole adolescent life. Well, I'm still an adolescent, but that moment that you feared, it's over, You said what you had to say, and I did say what I had to say, and it's up to them if they want, basically up to my father if he wants to accept it or not. And I really hope he does. So that was pretty much my yesterday, and he came home from work like 10 minutes ago. I just said hi, and you could see that he's like sad, but I can't do anything about it. That's pretty much it. If you watch the whole thing, thank you. I just felt like I needed to vent it out, and I didn't want to write it out. Probably sounds so ugly, but I just want to say yesterday to all the people giving me support and telling me, it's gonna be okay, good luck. I really truly appreciate it, and I love you guys for that. And I really do. Like, it's, yeah. So thank you guys for watching. If you did, um, yeah, I love you guys, and bye.